Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about Adeptus Titanicus, or the problem with Adeptus Titanicus. So, Adeptus Titanicus. Yesterday, pre-orders went live on Games Workshop website and third-party resellers for the main box, the other Warlord Titans, the rules set, the new terrain, everything to be able to play the game. So, what is Adeptus Titanicus? It's a two-player game set in the Horus Heresy for games of Titan clashes. It's very complex. It sounds awesome. It looks amazing from what I've seen of playthroughs and looking at the rules and things. The models are beautiful. To see a Warlord Titan that small, to see the Knights that small is really cool. They've managed to keep a load of the details still in there. And they look great. But it's a different scale. It's not Warhammer scale. And that is my main problem with this. This, along with the price point that it's dropping in at. So, normally, I have not much problems with Games Workshop prices. I understand that their models are incredibly detailed. They have a lot of people that they employ to make sure the company runs incredibly smoothly, from the customer services department, the Warhammer community, all the amazing artwork they put out, all the shops that they run, everything like that. The prices really aren't... It's a subject for another day, but I don't have too much of an issue with them. The problem is, when you look at other boxes, compared to, say, Dark Imperium or Kill Team, the box that only came out a couple of weeks ago, these are games that are self-contained in themselves. They can be played with two players. They've got two armies inside them. You can split it with a friend, you can take it for yourself and start two new armies. Or you can just buy it for the miniatures and the rules and add them to your armies. Kill Team especially, it's a cheap box. It comes with scenery. The scenery you can use in 40k games, or 30k games if you want. The models you can use in 40k games. Your other armies you can use in games of Kill Team. It's a box that has multiple uses, and you can get a lot from the value of that box, and especially seeing as it's only £75 for everything that you get in there. The two squads, the scenery, the book, the tokens, cool poster, everything that's in there. Titanicus is coming in at £175 for, admittedly, a beautiful looking rulebook with incredible art, loads of rules, loads of tokens, cards, reference sheets, funky dice, rulers, all that kind of stuff. Fantastic models. And okay, yeah, it looks, there's a lot there. There's a lot of value in there. I understand that. You've got a £175 box. You've got two Titans that are coming in at £65 each. So that's £130 straight away. You've got 6 Knights that are going for £40. So that's £175. It's £170 out of your £175. The rulebook is £35. Terrain is £75. So you've got what, £280 worth just there in a box that's £175. Sounds great. The problem is, if I buy that box, all I can play with it is games of Titanicus. I can't use those models in my games of 40k. I can't use my 40k models in games of Titanicus. It's not like Epic is still around anymore. If they had announced Epic at the same time, a new version of Epic, Epic 2018, or Epic Dark Imperium, or Epic Horus Heresy, something like that, then, you know, that wouldn't be as bad, because personally, I think that, you know, if they had made an Epic game, an Epic box set that had two armies in, and then released Titanicus, or at the same time, or they had announced the same time Epic for a new generation, you could invest in Epic, you could invest in Titanicus, you could use the models from each in each games, things like that. At the moment, there just doesn't seem to be much value in buying Titanicus just for the game of Titanicus at that price point. When I go into game shops and I look at board games and things, there are some amazing board games with fantastic miniatures that you can buy for 30, 40, 50 pounds, sometimes 80, 90 pounds. And it pushes it a little bit at that because they're miniatures that are self-contained, games that are self-contained, and you can't use them outside of those games except for expansions, things like that. So 80, 90 pounds pushes it. 175 pounds for a game that's just self-contained. It's a lot of money. And personally, I can't justify spending that much, and I know a lot of people can't justify spending that much on a single game. Obviously, myself being someone that grew up on Games Workshop in the early 90s, got me into sci-fi and fantasy, inspired me to become an artist myself. Looking at this, it's a great nostalgia. I love the idea that they're bringing this back. I hope they bring back Epic, and it's nice to see. It's reminiscent of my childhood, reminiscent of seeing those huge games of Epic 40k and seeing the Titans stomping around and the rules for changing shields and the power and all that kind of stuff. It was really cool. So the box will sell. I have no doubt about that. It will sell fairly well. There'll be a lot of people loving it, playing it. We'll see loads of knights and things and Titans on social media, and it'll be great. I'm looking forward to seeing people's paint jobs, people's conversions. I have no problem with that. It's just so expensive for what it is, and it just seems like it seems like the limit of where Games Workshop are pushing with their boxes. I can't see this is going to sell better than, or even anywhere near as well as, Kill Team or Dark Imperium or any of the other box sets. Forgebane, Dark Vengeance, Black Reach, going back to any of those boxes that had great value for models that could be used throughout many one huge system that everyone's already invested in. No one is already invested in Titanicus unless you're using the old Epic rules and you've got a few models kicking around and you want to use those Titans in Epic. And that's a tiny amount of people. So it seems like Games Workshop they've done some amazing box sets, some great values, some great rules, models, and that direction is incredible. Titanicus is, I wouldn't even say it's old Games Workshop pricing, old Games Workshop tactics. It's this new style, but they just kind of pushed it to the edge. They've gone towards the limit of where they can push these boxes, and hopefully they see that. And I don't know what you could do. As I said, I think the value is it kind of works out. The models, they're slightly small. The Wall of Titans, they're slightly smaller than Knight, 65 pounds. And Knight is, I can't remember now, 80 pounds. So, they work out. But when you can buy Renegade for just over £100 for 2 Knights, that's a little bit of terrain. It's got its own little game involved in with it as well, but you can use those Knights in 40k, and everyone's already invested in that. So it just seems that there's a huge problem with Titanicus in that it's just marketed at people who have a lot of cash to spend on the hobby. God knows I've dropped a lot of cash at times. People that have a huge nostalgia itch to scratch, and that's about it. It's not aimed at the greater populace, everyone else that's playing 40k. It just doesn't appeal to me. I can't justify that. It's I hope it's a one-off. I hope Games Workshop see that and go ahead and support it better. Not just, oh, there's some Reaver Titans, oh, because yes, they're coming out, but they're going to, it's just one game mode. It's difficult to think how much value that's going to add to a game system a few months down the line if there's not enough people already in it, if you know, if no one's playing it, if no one's bought it, because you know it's a complicated game. It's not going to be something you can take to a friend's house and show them how to play in 5 minutes and they'll be able to play it. It looks pretty complex. I love complex games, it's fine, but I do need to pore over the rules. I need to play it a few times. It's not a game that you can just take around to a friend and you know, just, oh, let's have a quick game of Titanicus. Oh yeah, how'd you play that? Easy. It doesn't seem like that kind of game. So that's my problem with it. It's an expensive game. It's too expensive for a 2-player game. It's not too expensive for the models that are in it, just for the fact that it's a 2-player game, that it's just too much. Personally, I think they could have done a lot better by creating single pose push fit kits, a bit like the Dark Imperium kits, and then the box, and then those boxes that came out after it, the No Fear and whatever the other ones were called. You know, the Wall of Titans, a fantastic looking model. The knights are really cool. All the little detail that's in a mini knight compared to the big one is great, but they're multi-part plastic posable kits, and those are not cheap to create. So I understand that the box is going to be expensive itself. The problem is, I just don't think it was necessary. If they had created push part kits, which I'll say this now, I actually do not particularly like myself. I do have the Dark Imperium Marines, but I sold off half of them, and they're not my favourite models. I love posability. But if Titanicus had been single pose push fit kits, and they had reduced the price to £110, £130, something like that, then I think there would be a much bigger demand for it. I admit, yeah, by the sounds of it, it's already sold out, it's already done really well. I don't think that they'll have any problem selling with it. It just won't do as well as other kits, other boxes that are out there, because of the huge price of it compared to those other boxes. So that's my problem with it. It's just too much for a game. For the models, sure, but for a game, it's just too much. I can't justify that. And I know, looking on social media, there's a lot of people that can't justify that. So hopefully it's a one-off. Hopefully they come out with Epic, 40k, Epic, whatever, and those models can be used. The game systems can be interchangeable, whatever. At that point, if Games Workshop's release schedule relents a little bit, because that's the other problem. They've just brought out Renegade, Kill Team, Age of Sigmar, Forgebane. There's been a lot of boxes recently, a lot of releases, which is fantastic, but I think people's wallets are beginning to sting a bit. So at some point, if they support the game more with a more affordable entry to it, then I don't have any problem myself with looking into it and painting out some Wall of Titans, having some Warlord games, smashing the crap out of each other. It'll be great, but until then, it's a huge problem, and it just kind of stinks a little bit of old GW, a little bit of kind of pushing the water, pushing it a bit too far. So hopefully it's a one-off. Hopefully they realize where they're going with it, and it's just a tester. So we'll see how it goes. I hope it does well. I hope it does well enough that they get the funds to continue to support the project, the game, the models, all that, and continue to do awesome stuff. until then, you'll have to wait to see some painted Titans from me. I will continue to paint my kill teams, my multiple 40k armies, and other figurines from other boxes that I really need to get around to painting. So that's my thoughts, my opinions, rambling as they are. I apologize for that. I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments. And please, I'd appreciate it loads if you'd give me a like and a subscribe. I'll be doing a lot more videos, comments on the game systems that are coming out, unboxings, and tutorials. I am a new channel, so any subscribe, like, share is so much appreciated, and it helps me to be motivated to continue to create content for you all. And thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.